to B-Mac. Momentum. Begin sequence.
First of all, what's your name?
My name is Patty.
Okay, and like, just what are your thoughts, about the American church? Like, what do you kind of think?
Well, my thoughts on church is that I think there are a lot of worker of lawlessness people in churches. Because it's all about believing in Jesus and doing the right thing, and I think a lot of people tend to think that they can do whatever they want and still go to church anyway. You don't have to go to a church to prove anything. And a lot of people go to churches to prove things, like who's better than, who's dressing better than, who knows more than. Nowadays there's so much going on in churches, like bishops molesting people, preachers molesting people, stuff, So I feel like church is just a show for people.
Everybody in a place to be. Open up your mind and let your soul be free. I can feel the Most High smiling on me. Come on.
All right. So I don't know. What's your name?
Jared. Every religion is hypocritical. I mean, if you think about it, preachers and stuff get paid by people coming to church giving the money. Like, I mean, everybody come up, you be seeing them with the fat cribs, the Cadillacs. Me personally, I believe in God, but I don't go to church. That don't make me no different. That don't mean I'm going to hell. That don't mean I'm going anywhere. So, I mean, honestly, it's really like all about how you feel, if you want to go or not, and how you feel.
Everybody in the place to be. Open up your mind and let your soul be free. I can feel the Most High shining on me. Come on. Let's get this party started.
Right inside, print in the inside of your bulletin. You can follow along for the most part here. And may go off on some tangent. I don't know. Okay, I don't promise anything about that. On the side note, I always forget the church lingo. Last week and this morning, I kind of let you guys I didn't say you may be seated at the beginning, so after greeting time, everyone's like, well, can we be seated? I don't know. They weren't really sure about that. So that happened in the first service, too. I forgot to say you may be seated. Some people didn't know if they could be seated or not, so sorry about that. So you may, today you kind of see this up here, and you look in your bulletin, Journey to the New God, and you're going, okay, well, is Oprah going to be coming out from the side, with her new book, The New Earth? What's this new God stuff? It's a little crazy. I don't know about this. You may be trying to get out, looking around, see if you can get out here. But we're not going to be talking about the Oprah new God or anything like that. We're going to be talking about the same God we've been talking about for a long time in the church, and that the church has worshipped for a long time. But we're going to look at a new way of looking at God tonight. And look at a very familiar old passage that usually just stops short of what I think is really about. So, first I want to start off by introducing myself just real quickly. There may be some people in here who don't know who I am. First off, I'm the youth pastor of the church here. My name is Josh Avery. I grew up in Canfield, Ohio. I don't really follow NFL, so if you're wondering, Steelers or Browns. I guess Browns, but I don't really know. So I like Ohio State though. Ohio State is the best because I love college football. So that you're wondering that. And I've had a lot of experience with the church. I've grown up in church my entire life, and for a while, about a year ago or so, I did not like the church. I was in Geneva College. I went to Geneva College for 3 years. My first year I went to a community college for general classes, but I was for 3 years in the midst of this taking student ministry at Geneva College. I was going to church every Sunday, and I enjoyed the church, but I did not like the church. And for the most part, church people made me sick. And that's a statement, oh no. People always react to that, and people don't like that. But if we want to be true here today, which I think we do want to be truthful up here, that was me. And you ask, why do church people make you sick? Well, you see someone who you knew was having a really hard time in life, and you go up to them in church, and you knew that their life was, they were having a bad day, bad time. You go up to them, hey, how's it going? It's going great, yeah. And they'd have that huge smile, oh, praise the Lord, and they'd shake your hand and they'd be big smiles. And a lot of churches, you see those kind of people. You see those people who put on the big Sunday morning smiles. And, for a while, that just kind of, I just went, what do we do with this? And I kind of put that away. I didn't know what to do. And I just kind of got more angry with the church until I realized people have to change it from the inside out. And this has happened all throughout history. From people such as Martin Luther, all the way up to Jesus with the Pharisees. That was the church of the time. And Jesus went in and just said, the religious people, you guys are still the same God. You're worshiping the same God, but you might not have everything right here. You don't have to do all this stuff. You're not quite getting it. So I've kind of come to that. I don't hate the church anymore. That's probably a good thing. I never really hated it, but I had a dislike for a little bit. And so that's kind of me and where I've come from. There's a lot more to my backstory. I spent some time. But today I want to start out by talking about, I talked about who is me. Well, who is America? Who are these people that we're seeing up here on the screen? And who is everyone around us? Well, there's a book, and there's a book called Post-Secret. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this book here. If you're not, don't give this to any teenagers or kids. There is some X-rated material in here, and you'll figure out why in a minute. What this is basically this guy started an art project, and the art project was, he was in New York City, and he said, he handed out these random postcards, about 3,000 people, and said, you're invited to be a part of this art project, and what I want you to do is decorate a postcard and write your secret on it, and then send it to this P.O. box, and don't write your name, it's going to be anonymous. And it'll be a part of this art project. And so this entire book is filled with people's secrets. And it's things they've never told anyone before. And some of them are funny, and some of them are more serious. Some of them, as I said, are more on the bad side. So that's why you don't want kids reading the books. He has about 4 of these books out with these things. But I'm going to read a couple today. I'll read a couple more funny ones at first, and then read several more serious. So here's the first one. It says, it was 1979, 4th grade lunch period. I was confronted by bullies, and I hastily broke into a Wonder Woman routine, hoping to frighten the big goons off. But considering I was a scrawny runt of a boy, it didn't go down very well. The second one, I gave my vegetarian sister a meal with beef. And I don't know how that went over, but this is another one. I used to fertilize a ring in our lawn every time I mowed it, and it grew. My parents still think it was aliens. Now here's some more of the serious ones, and keep in mind that these are real people's secrets, these are real people's lives that they don't tell people. I still haven't told my mother that I had the same disease that killed my father. My dad died when I was 9, and I convinced myself he faked his own death for some reason. Undercover agent, chased by the mob, etc., and then he'd come back someday. When I was 12, I found out from my psychiatrist that this is a pretty stupid idea. I'm 25 now, and I still wonder when it'll be safe enough for him to come out of hiding and find me. All of my life, people have told me that I'm not special. I'm very easy to replace. After 43 years, it has finally sunk in. I finally get it. My grandma thinks I'm a Christian, but I've been writing books about being an atheist. I am a Southern Baptist pastor's wife. No one knows that I do not believe in God. I tell people that I don't believe in God, when really, I just refuse to worship a God that would let my grandfather hurt me like he did. He's been in prison for 2 years because of what I did. 9 more to go. People think I've stopped lying, but I've just gotten better at it. I'm homeless, and no one, not even my family, knows about it. I smile sweetly and pretend to sympathize with my friends who are always fighting with their mothers, but I would give my left arm just to have my mother alive to fight with. And the last one, I don't know what to say to God anymore.